Hey, and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So this Thursday there will be a patch. We aren't entirely sure what it's going to entail, but there's definitely been a few noticeable changes on the previous server. To note, the Blaspheme Assassin has been fixed. Its damage will no longer stack to insane heights with its twin daggers when you have multiple of them all attacking the same target. It got a little bit ridiculous, especially in boss fights where they went on for a period of time and the boss was sticking around and you'd have them end up dealing like nearly 1,000,000 damage per second in an artifact call. And that's on a bleed, that's from a companion, you don't do anything, it's nothing related with skill. So yeah, naturally people with a bit more of a desire for skillful gameplay frowned upon this. And yeah, well, it's gone and got fixed. You can see an example log right here. This is the kind of DPS those companions were dealing. Yeah, a lot. And you could see right here the outgoing damage. The twin daggers could hit up for upwards of 1,000,000. And now it's been changed. Again, going into the trial, you can see the players' DPS there and compare that with then the companions. You saw they were dealing like 170,000. Now they're only dealing like 46,000 DPS. And we then went and decided, yeah, that won't do. They've been changed, they've been nerfed. Let's try out some other companions. How well did they perform? So we went and we switched over to like green scale bowmen, pseudo dragons, and like a scorpion. And you can see that the green scale bowman definitely outperforming the Blaspheme Assassin. Let's check, let's say this log here. The rogue is having the Blaspheme Assassin 53,000 counter DPS, while the green scale bowman nearly dealing 100,000 in counter DPS. So there is a comparable difference there. And the Blaspheme Assassin can still deal a ton of damage. And you can see linked down below my companion document. This is the single target companions, and the Blaspheme Assassin is on the top. Just be aware of the note. The reason it's on the top is because yes, on a dummy, it can deal that damage. But in a fight that's, let's say, going to have a lot of phases and the companion doesn't get a lot of time on target, or she might have mechanics where she dies, those bleed stacks are going to expire and she's not going to be able to maintain the 10 stacks. So when she's by herself, her damage really suffers. And I don't think a lot of people will run her. She could be useful for her fairy fire, decreasing the enemy's defense, and she can maintain this 100% of the time. So reliable in that regard, and I would use her for that. Unfortunately, they've gone and fixed twin daggers, but not fixed fairy fire. You do not see a damage increase to your damage at all. With that, it does not work. It's still broken. I hate that they do that. They prioritize fixing something that provides us with extra damage and then go and leave out the things that should be giving us extra damage and don't care to fix those. Very annoying, a bit infuriating. Additionally, with this update, we've got some changes to the Angel of Protection. She will now share the defense, the protective ward, to everybody. You'll see it up here in your buff bar, and you gain 3% defense. I don't recommend it too highly. It's still useful, but there's better options. Brunner, for example, giving you a 3% damage reduction, just flat out decreasing the damage you take by 3% rather than just giving you defense, which will in turn, yes, reduce your damage you take, but by like less than 3%, a lot less than a 3% damage reduction, that's for sure. Useful nonetheless, and she has been updated a little bit with her ward working properly and being able to heal the summoner, but not by an awful lot. Have a look at this. You can see that's her Angel's Touch there, and that's her shield over like 40 seconds. She shielded me for nearly 200k damage and healed me for nearly 500k. I would not say that's worth to use her as summoned just for those small numbers. And then additionally, they have gone and given the Cold Iron Warrior some buffs. If we can find him just here, there he is. He's had his damage increased, his base damage increased by a decent amount. Now, decent, not making him the best. You can see, again, his DPS has gone up to like 22,700. Whereas before, if you look at my chart, yeah, the Cold Iron Warrior was here. His damage was horrendous at only like just over 10,000 DPS. So at least there's that, but he's still only going to be ranked way down here at like 80th spot in terms of single target damage. So not really a companion you would use for that, but he's not a single target companion. He is actually a multi-target companion. He attacks his dummy there with like his sure strike, and then yeah, has that spinning ability. So his damage has been buffed, not by so much that he'll be all too great to be used in both AoE or single target. I don't recommend him. Otherwise, we've had the Fawn updated as well. She will heal a little bit better, not by much to be honest, and I will test all healing companions again. But basically you can see she'll put this little bush, she'll put it next to you, like on you pretty much, the summoner, rather than way off over there. She used to just put it randomly not on you, so it wasn't very useful. And then she has the ability, she'll run next to you and she'll heal you like that. So upcoming, I'll make a video testing healing companions. We'll figure out what's like the best to use, and I think tomorrow I'm ready to post a video where I'll cover the companions which are team support for increasing the damage of your team, increasing the survivability of your team, mainly just those two. The ones that you will use in end game in most cases. We'll test those and see how well they rank with each other. Now, additionally, just a heads up, the enchantments, you may have seen my video where these new enchantments, the Ruby, Sapphire, Aqua, and Marine, when you're making them account wide, were giving 1,600 item level. And I was warning you, do not go and actually upgrade them to take advantage of that, because they are now getting changed. Something very odd, which I don't know why they're doing, but you can see that the amount of stats they provide now is going to be equal to a single stat. Single stat is 2,250. Dual stat has 1,125 plus 1,125, which is a total of 2,250. They initially stated that these enchantments would give 100 more item level, and then they went back on that, as the community was like, we don't want that. Yeah, well, at least I spoke out with that, and many of you also said you didn't like that either. I didn't want that to happen because I felt we should just have mythic enchantments and they should all be the same item level. And personally, I think it's good that they change it so they have the same amount of stats. They should, like mathematical sense, they should all have the same stats. They're just different options to use. You can get these enchantments somewhere else, and yeah, they should just all have the same stats. Either they have the same stats and you just then have the ability to upgrade them, or not. They're all equal. I personally like it that they're equal, but some people will be a bit peeved by getting them because they had higher stats, and now they're going to have lower stats equal to the single stat, and some people who switch to dual stats because of the difference might not be so happy. They used to have, I believe, 1,138 stats, so ever so slightly more stats, but that still mattered for some people. And I personally don't think it mattered at all, because you were still able to get your ratings capped out with just single stat ones, and you just end up with too much ratings. Sure, I guess you could move them to a little bit of survivability, and yes, okay, they did give more ratings, and now them not giving more ratings can be seen as not such a happy thing for people who got them for the extra ratings. We'll see what happens. They've yet to publicly announce this change. It's still all the preview server, and these are changes that I can see now after the patch from yesterday. Just some things I've been discovering by playing here. Now, if you want to pick up your free Cloak of the Night promo pack, again, I'm not fully sure if there will be enough keys available for everybody, but there was when I went to do it. You need to go first, fill out your details on the right side. It's all blurred out for you guys. Sorry, but just fill out your stuff there. Once that's done, you can choose to opt out of the newsletter. Click save, and then there you go. You get your code. Simply copy that. Make sure you're logged into your ARC account, and go and redeem the code. Again, this is for PC only if you have an ARC account. You can do it if you have a Steam account, as long as you created your own ARC account and linked it to your Steam, not letting Steam create the ARC account for you and then not knowing the details. But then we can go to Claims Valuable promo, and there we have the pack. Claiming it gives us the cape, and we can see that in our inventory. Previewing it, just like so. This is actually from module 24. I had not known it was available, so applying that there, converting it to your appearance library, should be able to enable visuals here. Yes, change appearance item, and there we go, we have the cape. No cost to change that, so pretty neat. And we can see what it looks like on my character, like so. There you go, there you have it. Of course, you can change the colors. I like it to match what gear I'm wearing. And if any of you are wondering, where did the quiver go? You may have seen prior to module 25, my rogue had a quiver on back. Well, apparently they seem to have removed it, as it wasn't the most fitting for a rogue, they say. I personally liked it. It was a nice detailed touch, but sad to see it go, to be honest. But with that, a special thank you again to all of my channel members. And if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like. And if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Bye for now.